So recently I've been getting a lot of people that have been wanting me to do custom art for them and wanted to know what my rates are, why my rates are the way they are. So I'm making this video so that everybody can understand why my rates are my rates, for other artists that would like to explain why their rates are their rate. Everybody can understand what goes into creating art, whether it's art on a canvas, digital art, a better understanding of what goes into it as far as the materials, as far as the work. So I've got right here one of my original pieces. So I have it here so that I can explain exactly what I did to create this piece, what all materials it took, how long it took. So I'm just gonna go ahead and explain all the art materials first. This is my first time doing a video like this, so if it's a little all over the place, sorry. I'm gonna start off with the canvas first. The canvas itself is a 24 by 36 inch canvas. It's a level 2 heavy duty canvas, and it's normally about 60 bucks. As you can see, it's a pretty big size. It's bigger than some people think, 2 feet by 3 feet. This is the gesso that I use, like a primer. I put it on canvas first to prime the canvas so that I can actually put the paint on it. So you can't just start painting on the canvas with your acrylic paint or whatever paint you use. You have to prime it so that the paint that you put on can hold really well to canvas. And the more layers you put on, the better that the paint will hold. I always at least put 2 layers of gesso on there. I mix it with water, get a good little mix so that it's not too liquidy but also not too solid, so that it'll spread all over. I try to hit it with 2 layers, and if I can hit it with 2 layers, I'll do one, wait maybe an hour or 2 hours. You can't do them both at the same time. You gotta wait a couple hours to do it, so I'll wait 1 or 2 hours. If it's dry enough, I'll put the second layer on there. If not, then I'll always wait until the next day. Liquitex basic gesso, it's anywhere between 10 and 12 bucks, I think. Just depending on where you get. This is the brush that I used to put it on, just a 3-inch flat brush, just to spread the gesso all over the canvas. This is my mixing bowl. I'm not gonna give y'all a price for this because it's just a regular bowl. I don't even know where I got it from, but I just mix my water and my paints and my gesso, whatever I'm using at the time. I'll mix it in there, wash it out when I'm done so I can use the next thing, but I mix it in. I use this toothbrush just to, mix the gesso in whatever liquid I'm using or whatever water I'm using. Once I'm finished with it, I start sketching first. I'll sketch the outline of everything, do a grid system on it first. I do that. Once I start painting, I start with my background first. You can see I did a galaxy background for here. Did a coat of black just so I can get the background. This is a Fine Touch black. I don't even know where they still sell this at because I got this forever ago. It's about 5 bucks, I think. My Master's Touch Ultramarine, like a blue color. On here it's 5 bucks, but if you can get it on sale for less, maybe $3. Green Permanent, Liquitex Basics, it's about 10 bucks. And I think you can get it on sale for maybe like 5 bucks. The sponge I use, as you can see, is used and old. Sponge it up, dab it up so I can get that nice galaxy kind of background. White right here, which is the same Fine Touch. I don't know where it is. It says on here it's about 7 bucks. This toothbrush, I'll put the paint on the toothbrush and I'll flick the toothbrush on here to get all the starry kind of background. Once I finish the background, so I get my planets and everything done, then I'll get to me in this case. For my skin tones, I use a combination of yellow ochre that you can see right here. I think that's how you pronounce it. And burnt sienna. I'll use these 2. I think you can get these on sale. But I'll use these 2 for my skin tones. I'll mix them in with my whites and my blacks. My staple is my blue hair. For my crown that I use here, my king's crown, I use some of this yellow medium. This is an Artist Loft burnt umber that I use for some of my brown. This is another warm gray. This is another 4-ounce one, Master's Touch. 4 bucks. Those are all the colors that I use on. Got a nice glittery background, and for the eyes right here, what I use for that is I use this opal glitter medium. I'll normally just do 1 layer of it, and I'll use this brush with it, which is another one of those Fine Touch 1-inch flat brushes. All my paints that I use, I just use one of these regular palettes. They usually come in packs. I think they're like 10 bucks. I always use a sealer. It's an iron lac gloss acrylic paint sealer. You have to use these to make sure that your painting does not crack or break when it gets in the sun. So to make sure that it doesn't really mess it up, you use the sealer, and of course you got to use more than one layer. I usually use at least 2 layers of it, but I think it's about $6 to $8. Brush set, a Royal and Langnickel. This is the set of brushes that I got. Normally it's like 18 bucks, I think, but I got it for 13. If you want to buy them one at a time, they're like, I think like $3 or $4. I don't use expensive stuff, but if you want a high quality of art, you're gonna have to pay high quality money. The painting completely, I think this one took me about 3 months working on it, 3, 4, maybe 5 hours a day. Every time that I worked on it, I would go for maybe 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 hours straight. With all the prices of all the art materials, just the art material, what it took to do this one, $197. If I was able to get everything on sale, $155. So I'll save about 40 bucks total on this if I was able to get everything on sale. For me, it depends on the complexity of the piece, how big they want it to be, how much art materials I'm going to need in order to complete. If I have a deadline, factors that play into what I determine the price for each piece. So with this piece, let's just say that it took me 40 hours. Let's say you just minimum wage would be $10 an hour. For this piece, if I did just 40 hours at $10 an hour, that's 400 bucks just for labor. Plus the materials, gesso, you can use up your whole gesso in one piece. Sealer, you can use up your whole sealer. The glitter, actually depending on how many layers you do, because with everything you do is about layers. You blend smooth or vibrant and pop out. Add the art materials to the labor, $197 and 400 bucks in labor. That's about 600 bucks right there. For a piece like this, 600 bucks would make sense. So this is just me explaining what it took for this piece to be created. Every piece is different. Every artist is different. So if y'all like the video, let me know what y'all think about it in the comments.